It would seem that his middle name is Trouble, but in fact, he was never arrested until he got famous. Tupac Shakur, who just turned 24 years old, has grown up in front of our eyes, making him seem like the king of contradiction. One moment, Shakur is rapping about empowering women, and the next, being thrown in jail for sexually abusing a 19-year-old woman. He has spent the last 8 months in a maximum security prison. Now he's out on appeal, and in this, his first extensive TV interview, we meet the many sides of Tupac Shakur.
They call this place Weirdo Beach. I don't know, it ain't that weird to me. Oh, yeah.
All right, give me a characterization of your childhood.
I was the total opposite of what I am right now. I was quiet, withdrawn, I read a lot, I wrote poetry.
At what point in your early life were you introduced to this quote-unquote thug mentality?
When I was out there by myself, with nowhere to stay and no money.
Which city?
Bits of it was in Baltimore. Pieces of it was in Marin City. And then the rest came in Oakland.
And what was your first introduction?
Drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes. That's really it. Criminals. They the only people that cared about me at that point. When I had nowhere to go,
but you
and I was
your mother
hungry.
Always cared about you.
She did, but she was lost at that particular moment. She wasn't caring about herself at that moment.
And what was that like, to have a mother who was addicted to crack?
I love my mom. She the bomb to me, so
I know
love
she
all
is
her
now,
mistakes.
but what about then?
It was hard. It was hard because, you know, she was my hero.
And what did you do when you stopped going to school?
I only had 2 jobs ever in my life. One was in Round Table Pizza. I used to make the pizza, but it was good. It was the perfect job, Tabitha, because I was hungry and I got to like eat all the toppings off people's pizza. That's why, hey, because everything is right there. Could you imagine? I was making pizzas on the side, bringing pizzas home. I'm calling in my own deliveries.
Hello?
I'm saying, we on Venice Beach. That's what you're supposed to do. I've been in jail for 11 months, Tabitha.
You're supposed to put I love you.
You got to let me get a look on something.
Do you think it's important to tell your fans that it's not cool to end up in jail?
I don't have any problem telling people it's not cool to go to jail, because I've been there and it's not cool.
The controversy over Death Row Records and its owner being sort of a gangster.
Everybody's asking about Death Row. Sugar ain't no gangster, man. He chillin'.
No?
Nah, man. Sugar rider.
I know what good morals are, but you're supposed to disregard good morals when you're living in a crazy, bad world. If you're in hell, how can you live like an angel? You're sitting here surrounded by devils and you're trying to be an angel? That's like suicide.
Do you think you'll ever get to the point where you can live a normal, happy life?
No. But I'm going for it. I'm trying for it. And until then, I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. Live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't think. That I love everything about LA.
I get tatted up real quick.
I want a crown right here. You know, the energy, that's LA.
Right now, he is out on bail, pending his appeal. Since his release, he's rarely left the studio, where he's recording tracks for his upcoming double album.
Please, you gotta keep your head up. Hey, don't film this though, man. It's private, man.
So, just tell me how you've been feeling with all the stuff that's been going on the last couple of weeks.
Good, relieved, happy to be home. It's a trip when you know that last week you were in jail and I was in this little cell and it was real dirty and I didn't have any hot water and dudes were telling me when to shower and when to eat and all of that. And then the next week I'm up in Monty's with champagne and filet mignon and lobster and shrimps.
Did you ever feel like your life was threatened in jail?
By the guards, not by the inmates. They just did everything they could do to try to break me because I used to talk a lot of, coming out of jail.
No, not you.
I know. It's hard to believe, Tabitha, but you just got to picture it. But, they would say things, because they would call you, jail was the first place and I can go, and they just went, well, as soon as I got there, they went, there he goes. And he goes, who? And he goes, there's the rich nigga. I was like, oh, he said nigger. He said nigger. And everybody's looking at me like, so?
And I was like, oh my God, this is where I'm gonna be staying? He just said nigger.
Well, you got niggas in one of your records.
Niggas. He's
Different.
talking about niggers. Niggers was the ones on the rope hanging out the thing. Niggas is the ones with gold ropes hanging out at clubs.
Well, maybe not everyone's aware of the differentiation.
They don't have to be everyone. If you're not a nigger and you don't use that word, you don't have to understand.
Word.
It's just not one of those things.
How did you meet the girl involved in the alleged rape?
I met her in the club. Some guys introduced me to her. Sorry. I met her in the club. Some guys introduced me to her.
And she was very forward with you?
Extremely.
And what happened?
She did some things. And
sexual
we
things?
got together, yeah. She did some things there at the club, and we got together later that night. I saw her again another time with these guys that introduced me to her. Everybody was having a good time. Didn't do anything sexual, they just having a good time. Me and her went in there, she gave a massage, came out, went to sleep, woke up. She's screaming rape, rape, I raped her, and the next thing I know, I'm going to jail.
So in your opinion, there was no truth to the sexual abuse charges?
Not on my part at all.
If you could go back to the night when the sexual abuse occurred, is there anything that you would do differently?
Yeah.
What?
I would not have closed my eyes until she was out of the room, until everybody was out of the room.
So when you left the room and left her with those people...
I didn't leave her with those people. I didn't bring her to those people.
She came over herself?
Right. She came over, knew those people, knew everything, you know. I just didn't grab her out of there. But I'm guilty of not being a smart man, not being a good-hearted man, I guess, or whatever, or being more considerate.
At any point, were you aware that she was involved in something she didn't want to...
Excuse me. None of this legal matters to be asked at this point.
Well, I can...
I listed the stuff that you have to cut out. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's not given any limits.
Gentlemen, now on bail.
Let me see. I've grown up with tons of wild stories from lots of legendary rock bands and things that they did with their groupies. Do you feel like there's a double standard for black artists and white artists and how they entertain their groupies?
Yes, it is a double standard. Because America's scared of a black man's sexuality. And they only see us as brutes who can only go, hammer girl. They just can't imagine us being any other way. And that's why it was so easy for people to believe that I could do this.
It seemed like there was a time, though, that you were definitely reveling in the image of sort of being wild and crazy. And what got you off that path?
5 hot bullets.
Well, tell me what happened at the recording studios in Times Square.
I got shot 5 times. I walked in. Some dudes walked in and shot me up. Took some jewelry.
Do you know who shot you? No. Is that a no or is that a maybe?
No, I don't know who
No.
shot me.
So does that mean that you also have no idea why they shot you?
No, I have no idea why they shot me.
Do you think that they shot you just to get your jewelry?
I don't know. It's like anybody's guess. I don't know. I don't really like to talk about it.
At any point did you think that you were going to die after being shot 5 times?
No. No, I didn't. Immediately, I was like, God, man. I know how it's going to be when I die. It's going to be no noise. You're going to hear people screaming. And I'm going to fade out.
You were on trial for sex abuse charges at the time of the shooting.
I was on trial for rape and sodomy and guns possessions and forcible kidnapping, about 18 charges. That's why I wanted to die at that point. Because I was like, you know, I mean, I'm tired. But I lived, and I was like, well, you know, I can't check out.
So you felt suicidal?
Oh, definitely. It wasn't like I was one day waking up wanting to commit suicide. Just all around felt suicidal. But I couldn't kill myself. I just wanted somebody to kill me for me. You know what I mean?
Yet you're still happy you survived the 5 gunshot wounds.
The only reason I was happy was because I didn't want them to take me out. You know, I want honor, man. I want suckers that want to rob you, taking you out. You know what I mean? That's cowardly.
Do you feel rehabilitated? That's what they try to do in jail.
No, jail is not a rehabilitation thing. I feel like I've grown and matured. I don't think jail had anything to do with it, though.
Tell me what you've been recording in the studio since you got out of jail.
Okay. Euthanasia is the name of the album. It's a double album. I'm going to release it for Christmas. It's going to have Snoop on it. Me and him did a song called 2 of America's Most Wanted. Did that one.
Apropos.
Yes.
Here's some of that new album. Hear how Tupac thinks he's changed as a person since jail, and how he'd like his fans to see him now, when the MTV interview continues.
So you were telling me earlier about 2 of America's Most Wanted. Can you play me a little?
Oh, yes.
This is with Snoop, right?
Yep. This is me and Snoop, 2 of America's Most Wanted.
How long did it take you to record that? Was it just one day in the studio?
One day in the studio. That was one of 2 other songs I did that day.
Do you feel like rappers should be more responsible for their lyrics?
Yes.
What would you define as irresponsible?
You talk about murder and death, and you don't talk about the pain. Or you talk about killing and robbing and stealing, you don't talk about jail and death and betrayal and all the things that go with it.
A lot of people would characterize your music as gangster rap. Do you?
No.
Why not?
Marlon Brando's not a gangster actor. He's an actor. Axl Rose and them are not gangster rock and rollers. They're rock and rollers, right? So, I'm a rapper. This is what I do. I'm an artist.
Well, what's on this stat that you could play us?
This one's called Life Goes On. It's like talking about all the deaths that we have. Now you just got to get over it.
How many brothers fell victim to the streets? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for you. I'd be alive if I told you that I never thought of death. My nigga, we the last ones. Cause I bailed through the empty halls, breath sticking in my jaws. Ring, 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 quiet y'all. Here come and call. Plus it's my homie from high school. He getting by.
Does anything that Bob Dole says make any sense to you as far as rap is concerned?
No, I don't have no disrespect towards Bob Dole. I know he don't know what he's talking about. He's just talking. Some card that somebody gave him. He's just reading off that card. But he's cute, you know what I mean? He's my grandfather.
I was talking to skinheads and everything. Because you don't like black people, all right, that's fine. That's your opinion. Just like I want people to respect my opinion when I'm rapping, I'm going to respect your opinion. But I want you to treat me with respect, and I'll treat you with respect. And we get along good. This guy's skinhead, hate black people all over. He getting autographs for his little cousins. I felt like I accomplished something. I know by him getting my autograph, that meant something to me. You know what I mean? He couldn't hate black people and come get my autograph. One time, they had a story on the local news out there that Madonna was coming to visit me. Madonna has so much power that the guards let me take an extra shower because they thought she was coming to visit me.
Wow.
I had guards walking me downstairs, everything, trying to peep a look.
And did she come?
No, I'm
But
glad.
you got the extra shower?
Hey, I got the shower, good looking. Do it again. I don't blame her for anything. My mom's is a bomb. You know, world's best mom.
One of the characterizations made of rappers often is that they're very boastful. It seems like right now you're taking pains to be humble and look at things from a very realistic perspective. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm. I think being humble is sexy. That's my new put. I'm pushing
So
humble.
you're being humble to get chicks?
I'm trying to turn you on, Tabitha, as a matter of fact. I'm hoping my humble thing is going to get to you.
So you got married in prison.
Yes.
What happened with that?
It didn't work. Not because of her or me or jail. It just wasn't the right thing to do at the time. I married her for the wrong reasons.
What were the reasons?
I cared about her, but I married her because I was in jail, I was alone, I didn't want to be alone. And
how would you compare how you're handling fame and fortune in 1995 to how you did a couple of years ago?
I believe I'm more responsible, more mature, and more focused. And I will be more focused and even more responsible and even more mature in time.
It seemed like the two sides of Tupac were constantly battling with each other. One minute you're spitting at TV cameras, the next you're talking about Shakespeare. Have you reconciled those two?
Hopefully. I like to think so. I think that I was a reactionary, and now I don't do that anymore. Same person, it's just I don't react. Before I reacted, I didn't like the cameras, I spit.
The last time we talked, you said that you were best known for your big mouth. What do you feel like you're best known for now?
Taking 5 bullets. That. Surviving. I'm known as a survivor now. I hope so. For the jail thing, bullets and everything, controversies and everything. I hope so. And I want to be in the future known as somebody, you know, I want people to be talking about me like, you know, look, remember when he was real bad? Remember when Tupac was real bad? You know what I mean? They do that about a lot of actors now. Like John Travolta, I read stories, it's like, remember you were wild? And all these other people, and now they like, they're sweethearts. We all should get that chance. I just want my chance.